You think men are obvious when they care about you. You're wrong, because the strongest feelings a man has are the ones he'll never say out loud. Today, I'm showing you 7 clear signs a man secretly has deep feelings for you. If you've been wondering if his interest is real or if you're reading too much into things, this will end that doubt. And here's what makes this different. These signs have nothing to do with what he tells you or how he acts when he knows you're watching. They show up in the quiet moments, in the small changes no one else sees, in the steady behaviors he can't fake, the way his whole presence changes around you, how his priorities quietly shift, the small caring actions that come out without him planning them. These signals are always there once you know what to look for. Before we go further, stay with me until sign number 7, because it's the one that proves without doubt that what he feels goes far deeper than surface attraction. And most women miss it completely. Ladies, let's cut through the confusion for a moment. There's a question that sits quietly in almost every woman's mind when she meets someone who feels different from the rest. Does he actually have feelings for me, or am I making this up in my head? That worry lives somewhere between hope and fear, because feelings between two people are rarely clear or easy to read. And here's what you need to understand. Men don't show their deepest emotions like big announcements. Some men are shy, and that makes showing what they feel almost impossible. Some pull back on purpose because they've been taught that looking too interested seems weak or desperate, and others show everything they're feeling through actions and behaviors they don't even know they're doing. But here's the beautiful truth. No matter how hard a man tries to hide what's happening inside him, his feelings always find a out through the cracks. The heart won't stay silent. And when you know exactly where to look, you'll see it speaking clearly. Once you learn to spot these patterns, you won't spend another night wondering what he really wants. You'll understand what's actually happening below the surface. Today, I'm going to show you the most reliable signs that tell you when a man secretly has deep feelings for you. These aren't surface level actions or polite gestures. They're natural behaviors that escape because what he feels is too strong to hold in. Once these signs become clear to you, you'll never again mix up a man who's just being nice with a man who's truly falling for you. Let's start with something that confuses many women. When a man truly has feelings for you, he doesn't always move closer. Sometimes he does exactly the opposite. He creates distance, or he tries to. That probably sounds backward because our gut tells us that someone interested should come closer, not pull away. But when emotions run deep, they bring fear right alongside the attraction. And that fear can feel huge. He's scared of looking stupid, of saying something that gives away too much, of being open and facing rejection. What he feels is so strong that it scares him and makes him feel out of control. So rather than risk showing too much, he pulls back. You might see him look away suddenly, act busy when you come near, or even turn away when you enter a room. From the outside, that looks like he doesn't care about you at all. But watch what happens next. That distance never lasts. No matter how hard he tries to keep space, he always finds his way back close to you. He'll join a conversation you're in, stand nearby without a clear reason, or send you a message about something small. He makes up reasons for contact, but underneath every reason is a simple, clear need to be close to you. This back and forth isn't confusion, it's inner struggle. His feelings pull him toward you like gravity, while his protective side tries to keep him safe by staying away. If you felt that hot and cold pattern where he backs off one day and shows up the next, it almost always means your presence has already touched something vulnerable inside him. Another sign that never lies is in his eyes. He can control his words, he can manage his tone, but his eyes will give him away every single time. If you've caught him watching you from across a room, stealing looks when he thinks you won't notice, or holding eye contact just a little longer than what feels normal, you're seeing more than polite attention. That look comes from somewhere real. Even when he quickly looks away after you notice, the truth already showed itself. His eyes told on him before his mind could stop them. And here's the key thing. Men don't look at just anyone this way. A long gaze is saved for someone who has truly caught his attention. When his eyes keep finding you, even when lots of other people fill the space, it's because you take up a place in his mind that no one else does. Think about how people usually look at strangers. A quick look, maybe a second, then their attention moves on. That's empty. That's forgettable. But when a man's gaze stays with you, when he's watching the way you smile, the way you move your hands when you talk, the way you throw your head back when something makes you laugh, that comes from emotion. That's not manners. That's something deeper. What makes this so clear is that it often happens completely without him knowing. His eyes follow you naturally because you're already living in his thoughts. You've taken space in his mind, and his gaze just shows that inner truth. Pay attention also to the quality of his eye contact during real conversation. Does he seem extra focused? Do his eyes soften in a way that feels more personal than a normal talk would create? Those small shifts tell a much bigger story than any words could. They show you exactly where his attention sits and where his heart is starting to lean. Another powerful sign, one that can feel both nice and puzzling, is how he holds on to the small details you mention. Men don't naturally focus on details in everyday talk. But when a man has real feelings, his attention gets sharper. He remembers your favorite coffee order, that story you told about your childhood pet, or the small thing you mentioned about being nervous for an upcoming presentation. And later, without you bringing it up again, he mentions it. That's not chance. That's care showing itself. His memory of what you say proves that you matter to him, that he truly listens when you speak. Your words don't fade into the background noise of his day like they might with other people. They stick with him. You'll also notice this in the way he places himself near you. Even in group settings, he somehow ends up close to you. He'll take the seat beside you when other spots are open. He'll lean toward you when you're speaking without even noticing he's doing it. He might even copy your movements or voice patterns without trying. These are natural body reactions to attraction. Being pulled to someone isn't only an emotional thing, it shows up in the way he moves and the way his body naturally lines up with yours. Watch for his nervous habits too. Some men get a little clumsy when they're around someone they care about. They fix their shirt over and over, run their hand through their hair, or laugh more than the moment calls for. That nervous energy is usually covering how much he's actually feeling. What looks like awkwardness is often a heart racing because of your presence in ways he can't fully control. And then there's his effort. A man with real feelings finds ways to make time even when his schedule is packed. It doesn't need to be big. It might be stopping by just to check in, sending a quick message to see how you're doing, or offering to help with something. G small. But behind those actions is effort, and effort is one of the most honest signs of real interest. Men don't keep putting energy into someone unless that person matters to them. Another clear clue is how protective he becomes. It doesn't have to be obvious or dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as walking you to your car, giving you his jacket when the temperature drops, or standing closer when he senses you're uncomfortable. These small protective actions say a lot. They show he's paying attention to how you're doing and wants to make sure you feel safe and taken care of. That protective feeling is one of the strongest signs that his feelings for you run deeper than casual interest. Sometimes it's as small as putting himself between you and a crowded street, making sure you got home safely, or quietly looking out for your comfort when you're in a... That natural urge to protect, even in the smallest ways, often shows affection that goes well beyond friendship. Another clear thing to watch is how he reacts when other men show interest in you. Even when he tries to hide it, jealousy is hard to cover up. He might get quiet suddenly, his body language might get tense, or he might jump into the conversation wanting to be part of it. While jealousy should never be the base of a healthy relationship, those small flashes of protectiveness often show emotions he hasn't yet found the courage to say. Of course, every man shows attraction in his own unique way, but there's one truth that's always the same. When he cares, his behavior gives him away. He can try to look casual, but his actions will always speak louder than his attempts to stay cool. And once you understand how to read these signals, you'll stop second guessing what your gut has been quietly telling you all along. So the next time you find yourself wondering, does he actually have feelings for me? Pay close attention. Notice the push and pull, the way his eyes find you, the nervous energy, the thoughtful action that seem to come from nowhere. None of these are accidents. They're the marks of a man whose heart is already moving toward you, whether he's ready to admit it or not. His eyes often tell everything long before his mouth finds the courage. You can see it in how his gaze stays with you, in the way he studies your face, like he's trying to remember something precious. Those eyes often speak the truths his lips are too careful, too nervous, or too unsure to say out loud. And when you see this, you understand that attraction and care don't always need words to make themselves known. Another sign that shows everything is the sudden clumsiness that shows up whenever he's in your presence. A man with feelings often feels like his mind and body forget how to work together the way they normally do. He might drop his keys at the worst possible moment, struggle with his pH, or trip over words that usually come easily to him. Sometimes he'll laugh at something that isn't really funny, or chuckle during moments that don't really call for it. Why does this happen? Because your presence has weight for him. You matter, and that creates nervousness. He badly wants to show you his best self, to impress you, to hold your interest. His nervous movements aren't mistakes, even though they might look that way. They're signs of being vulnerable, small windows into how much your opinion of him actually matters. Think about it for a second. Would he act this way if your presence meant nothing to him? Absolutely not. That awkwardness is his care slipping through the cracks of whatever cool front he's trying to keep up. And in its own way, it's really genuine. It's often in those imperfect, rough moments that you see the clearest proof of how real his feelings are. Then there are the things he does for you without being asked. This is one of the strongest and most reliable signs of real affection. A man who truly cares doesn't wait to be told what you need. He sees ahead. He notices when your hands are full and right away steps in to help. He offers his jacket when you're cold, not because you asked, but because he was watching closely enough to notice. He opens doors, carries heavy things, or handles a small task just to make your day a little easier. Sometimes it's something bigger, like fixing something at your place, remembering something you mentioned weeks earlier, or surprising you with your favorite treat after you've had a hard day. These actions aren't random. They're clear choices that say, I see you, I care about you, I want to be someone you can count on. Words might stumble or fail to capture what he feels, but his actions carry a clear and steady message. When feelings are real, they don't just sit in theory. They show themselves through support, through service, and through the small sacrifices he's willing to make for your sake. Another part of his affection often shows up through playful teasing. When a man feels comfortable and safe with you, a lighter, more playful side comes out. His inner child shows up, and with it comes a teasing style of talking. This isn't the kind of teasing that hurts or puts you down. It's gentle, wrapped in warmth, meant to make you laugh or create a private joke that only the two of you share. Sometimes he'll playfully point out something quirky about you, not to criticize, but to see you smile back. Why does he do this? Because teasing is his bridge between being careful and getting close. It's a way to show interest without laying everything bare at once. It builds a private space where only you and he belong. Every playful comment is secretly saying something. What he's really telling you is, I feel comfortable with you. I want to make you happy. I care enough to risk looking silly if it makes you smile. And you see this, don't brush it off as childish. See it for what it actually is. A real effort to create connection through humor and shared lightness. Another strong sign is how he remembers the smallest details about you. Things that most people wouldn't notice or would quickly forget suddenly become important to him. He remembers how you take your tea, the story you shared about your grandmother when you were a child, the snack you reach for when you're worried, or the song you hum when you're in a good mood. These aren't random pieces of information that just stuck in his memory. They're things he kept on purpose because they matter to him, because you matter. Men don't usually focus on such fine details with people who are just casual friends, but when real feelings are there, memory gets sharper. He listens more closely, notices more carefully, and stores even the tiniest details because they bring him closer to understanding you. It's his quiet way of saying, "You're important enough that I pay attention to everything." That level of focus isn't casual. It's deeply personal. If you look carefully, you'll see how all these signs connect to one another. The eyes that stay on you are the same ones that show nervous energy when he trips over his words. His desire to help you without being asked often mixes with his teasing, creating a balance between deep care and playful affection. His memory of your small details often drives the actions he takes, surprising you with something you barely remember saying. Together, these pieces create a picture of unspoken truth. It's rarely a single alone sign that shows how he feels. It's the mix, the repeat, the way his whole manner shifts when you're there compared to when he's around anyone else. And then there's another big sign, his time. Watch how he chooses to spend it. A man who truly cares will create space for you, even when his life is busy. He'll stay in conversations longer than needed, find reasons to spend extra minutes near you, or reach out when he knows you've had a hard day. Time is one of the most valuable things anyone has. And when he gives it freely and regularly, that's never small. Even in moments when he looks tired, distracted, or carrying the weight of too many things, if he still makes the effort to connect with you, that choice quietly shows the place you hold in his life. Notice too how his body language changes around you. He leans closer when you speak, his posture relaxes, and without knowing it, he starts to mirror your movements. In a group setting, his shoulders turn toward you, creating an invisible line of connection that exists even when others surround you both. His feet may point in your direction. His arms may rest more openly at his sides instead of crossed up. And his smile comes faster, warmer, and more real when it's aimed at you. Attraction often shows itself through small body cues, and while he may not be aware of controlling them, you can read the truth written clearly in his body language. He might also check in on you in small but meaningful ways. Simple questions like, "Did you make it home safely?" or "How did your day go?" Might seem routine, but they carry depth that's easy to miss. Behind those words is real care, a desire to stay connected to your life and to make sure you're okay. These check-ins, though they look simple on the surface, are signs of his growing emotional investment. He may even show slight protectiveness, not in a controlling or possessive way, but through gentle awareness. He might walk on the side of the sidewalk closer to traffic, make sure you're safe when crossing streets, or step forward when he senses you're uncomfortable in a crowded space. These small instincts aren't accidents. They show his care and his desire to be someone you can depend on. The more closely you watch, the clearer the story becomes. Love and deep feelings rarely stay completely hidden. They whisper through long glances. They slip out in nervous laughter. They show up in thoughtful actions and in remembering the smallest parts of who you are. What you're seeing isn't just interest. It's the start of something deeper. When a man acts this way, he's showing you that you're more than someone he finds attractive. You're someone who has found a place in his heart that he can't easily hide. And maybe that's the most important truth to understand. Feelings don't stay hidden forever. They show themselves through the eyes, through awkward or clumsy moments, through playful words, thoughtful actions, and protective instincts. They tell the story. He hasn't yet found the words to speak out loud. He might hold back with language, but If you know where to pay attention, you'll hear his heart talking clearly. Most people don't hold on to small details. Everyday moments fade because they don't carry special meaning. But when someone truly touches a man's heart, everything shifts. His memory gets sharper in ways even he might not fully understand. Every moment you share becomes something he treasures, something he holds close, not through trying hard, but because it feels too valuable to let go. Suddenly, the smallest things gain meaning. Think about this for a moment. He might forget where he left his wallet over and over, or he may struggle to remember someone's name right after being introduced. Yet he will recall the exact look on your face when you described your favorite childhood memory. He'll remember how your whole body moves when something truly makes you laugh. He notices that on cold, gray days, you pick tea over coffee. He remembers how your voice changes when you talk about someone you love and how you gently bite your lower lip when you're thinking deeply about something. To you, these patterns might seem ordinary, barely worth noticing, but to him, they become part of how he sees you. They're woven into the story of who you are in his world. These moments form his private collection of memories that make you uniquely you in his eyes. Why does this happen? Because when a man truly cares, his mind and heart work together naturally. He doesn't make a choice to memorize these things. He simply can't help it. His heart leads and his mind follows. You aren't just someone passing through his days. You become central to them. Every habit, every glance, every choice becomes a thread connecting him more deeply to you, even when distance separates you. For him, those memories work as anchors, keeping him connected to you without needing your physical presence. So when he shows up with your favorite snack after a hard day, or when he reminds you of a story you shared months ago, one you barely remember telling, don't brush it off as simple chance. It's more than memory. It's affection showing itself without words. It's love shown through action. It's his way of telling you, you matter so deeply to me that I carry you with me even when you're not here. Because the truth is, when a man holds you in his memory this way, it isn't just his brain working, it's his heart leading him the whole way. There's something else worth noticing too. His energy completely changes whenever you're near. Have you seen how the air around him shifts the moment you enter a room? Maybe his posture straightens as if his body wants to show his best self to you. Maybe his words flow more easily, as if conversation feels lighter and more natural in your presence. Or maybe it's the smile, real, unplanned, and seemingly saved only for you. That shift isn't random. His instinct, his body, his emotions, his whole presence responds to yours. Without a single word said, his energy tells what his voice may be too careful to admit. That's the quiet beauty of real attraction. It runs far deeper than surface level interest. His posture, his movements, his tone, they all adjust to show the pull he feels toward you. Even when he tries to keep his cool, that spark is nearly impossible to hide. When someone affects him this deeply, his reactions come out before his conscious mind can stop them. He may not say it directly, but his whole being shows it. When you notice this shift, how he seems more energized, more present, more at ease whenever you're around, understand that it's not chance. That's his soul quietly showing itself. Others might only see small changes, but you feel the difference because his complete attention is focused entirely on you. When you gather all these pieces together, from the moments he seems to avoid you because nervousness takes over him,